Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. We'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And folks, we got a hell of a show in store for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, as you guys know, one of the hottest things in sports right now is the conversation around Caitlin Clark. Right? Caitlin Clark, she's becoming a lightning rod and a bit polarizing because there's some people that 100% support her, and there are other people out there that are like, what's all the hype about? There have been other great WNBA players. Why is this particular player getting all of this praise, adulation, and all of that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? And this has kind of manifested itself on various sports debate shows. We've seen people like Stephen A. Smith and Monica McNutt and these guys on ESPN First Take get into some very spirited debates. We produced a show just the other day, one of our best shows, got about 400,000 views, and it was centered on a back and forth that took place on ESPN First Take featuring Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharpe, and Molly Karam, where they basically called her out for like, don't switch it up now. Don't switch it up now. Because like a lot of y'all were coming at people like me and Shannon for basically saying that y'all need to keep promoting Caitlin Clark and all of that. And now all of a sudden you want to act like you want to see the light. So there's been a lot of conversation around this now, right? So what happened this morning, I was going through the internet and I came across some comments from Charles Barkley. Initially it was referred to me on Instagram from Yahoo Sports, because I follow Yahoo Sports, and so I saw the quotes. So this morning I decided to hunt down the source of it, and it turned out he actually had a visit to the Bill Simmons podcast where he talked about a bunch of things: the Boston Celtics, the WNBA, inside the NBA, all those different things. And then it got to the point where he was discussing Caitlin Clark. And if you know anything at all about Charles Barkley, you know that he's one to never bite his tongue. He's going to tell you exactly how he sees it. And I think because of that, because of the level of candor that he speaks with, it causes some people to like him and it causes some people to dislike him. But nevertheless, you're never wondering and guessing where Charles Barkley stands on issues. So when it came to the Caitlin Clark story and, you know, they started to discuss it, Charles Barkley basically started ripping the WNBA for their mismanagement of this unicorn that they had. And he said that they have messed it up in ways that are absolutely unimaginable. And he can't believe how bad of a job the WNBA is doing in terms of capitalizing on the momentum of Caitlin Clark. So those are the comments that we want to focus in on today. But before we even get into that, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. With only 4 months left in 2024, I'm really looking forward to making memories with my family and attending different games and concerts and theater shows this year. And so when it comes time to finding the most affordable tickets for these shows and events, I love using Game Time. Game Time is one of the most reliable marketplaces for last-minute tickets to the most popular events in sports, music, and theater in more than 60 cities across the United States and Canada. Game Time already analyzes thousands of tickets for all of your favorite events near your location and finds you the best possible deal so you don't have to. For example, I'm looking forward to this upcoming concert at Madison Square Garden of one of my favorite composers, Hans Zimmer. Here, I can select the all-in price to see the total ticket price up front, no hidden fees. And now I can sort through the best possible deals I can find. I can choose the cheapest deals, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. And if you're like me and always make plans at the last minute, you can grab tickets up to 90 minutes after the event has started. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is we want to play some of the comments that Charles Barkley had to make on on the Bill Simmons podcast, and then we're going to come back and react to what he had to say. Take a listen to Charles Barkley here.
These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan.
It's been a good season.
They cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they tried. If you got people in a room,
yeah,
if you got a bunch of dudes in a room and says, let's WNBA. We couldn't have came up a master plan what these women have done. This girl is incredible. What she did in college for women's basketball, what she's doing in the WNBA.
She turned the Fever were 1-8. They have a winning record now.
But the number of attention, eyeballs, she's brought to college and the pros. And for these women to have this petty jealousness, you say to yourself, damn, what is going on here? And
well, you got accused of that stuff too with the older players being resentful of the new generation. It's kind of part of the basketball process. Everybody thinks their generation's the best.
No. Anytime we say something about guys, it ain't the old get off my lawn guy.
Yeah.
But the stuff toward her is petty and jealous. And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. And now when I watch her, two things I like. She's playing much faster.
Yeah.
Much faster. She was playing too slow the first half of the season.
I think she was tired. I think she was banged up from the college season.
They didn't even give her the understanding, like, you girls been ready for the WNBA season. Y'all been working out on the no stress. She came straight out of college and had to go right to the WNBA like 2 weeks later. So they didn't even factor that in. But I think she's learned. When I watched her play the last month, I think she's learning to play much faster because I think she's learning to trust those girls more. Because, when she's in college, she's not passing to a bunch of great players. Now you can see when she plays, she's playing a lot without the ball. She reminds me a lot of Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd's the best I've ever seen with playing without the basketball.
Yeah.
I played with Jason Kidd one time in an All-Star game. He says, Chuck, you should be getting like 6 to 8 points a game more, right? I said, what are you talking about? He says, I'm going to kick it ahead to you.
Yeah.
He says, your point guards wait and give you the ball too late. If I give you the ball full speed ahead instead of waiting for you to finish, you get another 8 to 10 points a game. She's starting to see now, if I play faster and give it to them sooner, so that tells us she's really smart. But these ladies, who I love and respect their game, they couldn't have thing up any worse. Because we have talked, and talking about A'ja. A'ja Wilson's the best woman player in the world right now. She's incredible. Connecticut Sun's having a great year. The Minnesota Lynx is having a great year. But there's been so much negativity, and a lot of it is just petty jealousness. And I love the way and I'll tell you what really good happened to her, not making the Olympic team.
Totally agree. Well, it also gave her a break.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
Giving her that time off has given her a chance to recharge her batteries. So it ended up, she probably did deserve to make the Olympic team on merit, but her getting that time off probably was the best thing happened to her.
So you heard what he had to say, right? He didn't mince words. He didn't second guess himself. He said exactly what he thinks, and he used a word that got Stephen A. Smith into some hot water with some women that cover sports when he used the word jealousy. For whatever reason, when men use this word to describe certain relationships between various women, it's like a no-go area. You should never use that word. But Charles Barkley just said it flat out that he senses a lot of jealousy within the WNBA. Some people are like, well, what's so special about her? Well, first of all, let's look at her stats this season. Caitlin Clark this season, this is according to basketballreference.com. She's averaging 18.9 points per game as a rookie, 5.8 rebounds, 8.4 assists on 42.5% shooting from the field, 34.3% shooting from the three-point line. Her free throw shooting percentage just went up from a few days ago. Now she's shooting 90% from the free throw line. And she's also getting you about 5 turnovers a game. So that's pretty high. So some people will look at that and say, well, I mean, those are great numbers, but does it warrant all of this hoopla and all of the hysteria around it? Let me give you guys some information that I think may help you understand this. Let's look at Caitlin Clark's the attendance in terms of people that have come to watch her. According to an article that we got from Sportico, it says Caitlin Clark Fever sent attendance record with Olympians watching. More than 500,000 fans have now watched Caitlin Clark's record-shattering rookie season in person, setting a new attendance high for a WNBA team. The Indiana Fever recently reported that 503,000 visitors have attended the team's 31 home and away games this season, including 17,274 who watched the Fever beat the 22-8 Connecticut Suns 84-80 Wednesday night. Amongst those at Cambridge Fieldhouse were the Olympic gold medalists Simone Biles and Gabby Thompson. Biles posted online that it was her first WNBA game, but that it wouldn't be her last. She wrote, "Everyone watches women's sports. So happy to be able to go support my first of many WNBA games." Stop. Let's stop it right there. All right. Let's stop it right there. Let's just focus on the comments that Simone Biles just made. Okay. For the longest time, women in sports have been complaining that they don't get enough support from men, for the WNBA, right? Men have always pushed back and said, well, if you want there to be more revenue and all of these things, go watch the games. Before we show up, you show up. When you show up, we'll know that you're serious, and then we'll show up. But don't ask us to show up when you as women are not even showing up to these games. If you now look at the comments from Simone Biles, what did she say? She said, this was the first WNBA game she's attended in her life. The question then becomes, why? Why was that the first WNBA game she attended? I think we can all agree that Caitlin Clark played a major role in her attending that game. I think we can also agree that Caitlin Clark is the biggest reason we've been talking about the WNBA as much as we have. Folks, let me break it to you. Prior to Caitlin Clark exploding on the scene, I never spoke about the WNBA. I never cared about the WNBA. I wasn't interested at all. It was of no interest to me whatsoever. So it is fair to say that the impact that she's having on the sport is real. And for people or WNBA players or the WNBA to find a way to screw it up is unbelievable to me. But that is exactly what has been happening. There's some people out there like, why is Caitlin Clark receiving all of this hype? Why not Angel Reese? Why not this person? Why not that person? My question is, why does it have to be somebody? Why can't it just be her and then we move on? Why can't it just be her and then we move on? Why does it have to be, well, if she's getting it, the other it just so happens that some people got the glow. Some people got the glow for whatever reason. We know this in real life. There are people that we come across, maybe in junior high, in high school, in college. They're just some people that attract people and they have this way of pulling in people with their energy, and it's just natural. It's just natural. And we also have to look at, because it's not just hype, she's actually playing well. She's playing a lot better since the Olympics. She's actually elevated her basketball game. So to me, how the WNBA players and these guys are finding a way to screw it up, I don't understand. In the NBA, we never have these conversations, ever. We never have debate panels, sitting down, think groups. Okay, we're going to use this word to describe what's going on between LeBron and this guy. Are we going to use that word? No, we don't have time to be wasting on that. We're moving forward. It's like this thing is moving. But in the WNBA, they want to be sitting there fighting and, oh, why is this? Why is that? And what I think is happening, what I see happening right now is this. I'm actually noticing, ironically, that men are the number one supporters of Caitlin Clark. Just yesterday, I was watching a segment on Gil's Arena. It was featuring Brandon Jennings, Rashard McCant, Gilbert Arenas, and a WNBA player. I forgot her name. She's a regular guest. And it was the men that were basically hyping up Caitlin Clark and defending it. And it was them calling out the women. Think about the irony of this. The women have been complaining that the men are not supporting enough. They're not going to games and they're not donating more, whatever the hell it is. You heard Lisa Leslie on The Shop with Draymond Green complaining about this very thing. And now when you guys have a star and a cash cow and somebody that's taking your sport to the next level, you look for a way to nitpick at her and find problems. And now you have men that you've been asking for their support in terms of their viewership and all of that. You have men defending this woman in your sport. You can't make this up. And that is exactly what Charles Barkley is saying when he says the WNBA could not have screwed it up any more than they already have. And I 100% concur. It is beyond me that we're spending this much time talking about all of these ancillary things that do not matter. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we'll definitely catch you guys on the next show. Peace.